On September 9, 2025, police rushed to Dallas-Fort Worth to investigate a reported airport theft. Officer Sides contacts the victim, asking her to explain the situation. He keeps things professional. The traveler explains her wallet went missing right after she went through the security checkpoint. But there is a major delay in her timeline that seriously complicates the whole search. Why? She did not realize it was gone until 30 minutes had already passed. That is huge. Now, the officer has to confirm this massive gap in time because it matters. In a busy airport, 30 minutes is an eternity. The officer pinpoints the exact lane used. Lane 4. He begins checking with airport security staff next. Watch how the officer handles this critical moment. He moves fast. He needs security camera footage. Then, a breakthrough. A checkpoint agent confirms that they actually found the wallet and placed it right on the counter. But then, another traveler apparently walked off with it. Let's see if the cameras caught the suspect. This is a typical crime of opportunity unfolding here. The officer begins questioning staff about who placed the item. Here, an employee admits it. The deputy quickly warns them never to repeat that mistake. Leaving a valuable watch out like that invites theft, so he advises securing it safely behind the counter. Now, listen. Indeed, the deputy asks exactly when the item was left unattended. Any idea? About an hour ago. They confirm the timeline. Really? But here is the main security risk. With heavy foot traffic passing through, leaving expensive jewelry exposed like that is a massive gamble. The worker tries to downplay the situation immediately, claiming it is no big deal. They point out it was documented on the invoice. The officer understands, but maintains his point. If you find any valuable items, keep them secure and tell the owner to claim them later rather than risking theft. Apologies. Now investigators are checking the footage. Correct. The victim plans to return in the morning. Early. The deputy ensures all details are recorded. Yes. The specifics, address, email contact, and the description of the watch. A photo of the item would help immensely now. Next, he requests their home address to complete the official paperwork. This will be processed as a formal police report shortly. The deputy seeks the owner's full name next. Watch, Cartier. High value. The officer has the victim write his address on the incident report. He handwrites the case number down. Now he asks for an estimate. The victim hesitates, guessing around $6,000 maybe. Perhaps. Understood. He settles on $6,000. $6,000. Give or take. Let's analyze why this detail matters so much. The value of the stolen item determines whether this case gets prosecuted as a minor misdemeanor or a serious felony. It dictates the level of offense. In this situation, the deputy just needs a ballpark figure to move forward. They will verify the market price later. Exactly. His friend speaks up instead. The officer notes everything in his file. The paperwork is finally complete. He asks if they can leave the scene now. The deputy clears him to take off now. He hands over the case card and promises to keep him updated on any new leads or questions during the active investigation. The interaction wraps up very professionally, but notice how he stops. He mentions another deputy. Remember him. He's trying to find him. The victim has no idea. The deputy decides to check the terminal next. Let's see. He asks dispatch to meet at gate 16. The suspect was last seen near gate 16. Let's move. He politely offers to escort the victim outside. Pardon me. Okay. Let's check out this airport investigation together. Officers are heading toward the airplane. They need to intercept a passenger. He reportedly stole an item at security. Now they are boarding the plane to make contact. They spot him. In his seat, the officer calmly introduces himself to the man and asks him to step out into the jetway immediately. He must grab his luggage. This ensures he does not leave any evidence behind. On board, the flight crew watches the interaction closely. Everyone is calm. They lead the traveler away from other passengers. The officer wants to question him in private. Let's analyze his behavior during this next exchange. Officer Sykes now begins the interrogation, keeping things very professional. He asks about the item taken from the counter, right at the security screening area. Yes, the suspect admits to having it. No, but confesses that the item is not his. He offers up a quick excuse. Pointing to someone, the officer stays focused. The man starts stumbling over words. Notice how he completely avoids answering directly and kept walking. Why? He knowingly took property that was not his, which is the core of the issue. He admits this fact again. So the deputy asks why he even took it. He claims he intended to return it to someone, a female passenger who was standing nearby, but he gave up. The deputy immediately spots a massive flaw here. Why not give it to staff? We can clearly see his defense falling apart. To the owner, allegedly. That is his main defense. But did he actually seek her? He claims so. Yet his story is shifting quickly. The officer defines this as theft. Stealing. Plain and simple. He acts confused. Trying to backpedal. Denied. Taking someone's property is illegal, regardless of his intentions. The excuses start. But law is law. Indeed. Watch closely. He tries downplaying the entire situation. The cop is not buying. This is clearly theft. So why did he board the plane with it? Why skip the airport security checkpoint entirely? That immediately breaks his alibi. He claims it was just a careless mistake, supposedly searching for a lost and found. But his direct actions tell a different story. The officer remains extremely skeptical. The victim sits nearby, yet he made no effort to help. Why? Notice how defensive he gets now. She actually has photographic proof of ownership. Already. Busted. Now he acts defeated and tries negotiating. It's over. He stammers for words. He realizes he is facing real handcuffs. Exactly. The excuses have run dry. Listen to his panic rise. The harsh reality is finally setting in. Now, he has nothing. Busted. The deputy gives him a chance to cooperate early. He demands all the stolen items right now, immediately. The suspect complies quickly. Very polite. He tries playing it down, but the officer is not buying his story. The apologies start flowing. The deputy lays out the evidence clearly. Regret sets in instantly here. He chose to walk away. A full admission. Let us watch how he changes his tune. He is totally trapped. He agrees. No excuses left. He stammers, trying to explain. His story makes absolutely no sense. More begging. The law does not care. He admits his guilt, but still tries to justify it. Foolishly, the deputy focuses on the physical action. Taking it was the crime. Another useless apology. Now the officer prepares to move him out, away from the desk. He complies. They need to recover the stolen watch first. The deputy alerts the rest of the team. Immediately, they begin moving through the airport. His partner asks for details. They need to coordinate the intercept. The suspect is heading near gate 14. They move to cut her off. Checking in. Slight confusion. Everything is set. He hands over the recovery. A tense confrontation. Suddenly she forgets her code. A very convenient excuse. The classic stalling tactic. The officer heads out to return some stolen property. Watch closely. He managed to recover a victim's stolen watch. Now, he's searching the area to track her down and return it. Look, the deputy spots the victims nearby. He approaches them directly. They are visibly startled, but he immediately delivers some incredibly good news. The stolen watch is safe. Incredible. He hands over the recovered jewelry right there. A huge relief. Mission accomplished. She asks how they tracked it down. The officer explains they caught the thief. She is shocked. Now, listen to the suspect's excuse. It is unbelievable. The thief claimed he was trying to return it, but the deputy easily saw right through that lie and arrested him. Absolutely. The family is completely stunned. They appreciate the update. The suspect is being booked into jail. Justice is served. They are grateful for the help. The deputy checks to confirm details. Correct. He stands corrected. An elderly suspect. Satisfied, the officer prepares to clear the scene. He signs off. Perfect. Another bystander asks for a recap. The officer repeats the swift resolution. They caught the suspect and recovered the property quickly, returning it to the owner. This theft happened before dawn, under cover of darkness. Case closed. Let's take a look. Right at the start, a traveler left her ticket behind. Right at the ticket counter. Luggage belt. Right near the check-in desk. Exactly. Staff spotted it quickly, but they set it down, and this suspect walked right over and snatched it. Unbelievable. Now, watch this. Security cameras caught him in the act, tracking his moves. He pocketed the ticket. Classic crime opportunity. He starts apologizing now, stuttering hard, but the officer is not buying it, pointing out he is only sorry because he got caught. Busted. Listen to his excuse. He claims he was going to turn the ticket in later, once he landed all the way in Boston. The officer immediately shuts down that logic, asking why anyone would steal something in Texas just to return it across the country. It makes absolutely zero sense, and his body language shows his panic. He stammers. The officer calls out the obvious lie. Exactly. His defense is crumbling. Pathetic. Notice how the ticket was safe right on the counter. He points to the camera, claiming he was just trying to find the rightful owner. But watch his hands in the footage. See, if he really wanted to be helpful, he would have handed it to staff. He claims it was a mistake, but he still pocketed it and boarded. The suspect immediately tries minimizing his actions. Now the officer steps in with the reality. He wants to be completely direct about the theft. There is no brushing this incident aside. The stolen item carries a massive price tag. The watch he pocketed is worth a fortune. Thousands of dollars, actually. He acts shocked. The officer confirms the high value immediately. Snatching expensive property has severe legal consequences. That is what happens when taking someone else's gear. Taking abandoned items is still considered theft. A simple grab can quickly escalate to major charges, especially when it is highly valuable. Worse yet, the victim is boarding her flight. If the officers cannot recover the property now and return it immediately, he offers to mail it, but he is facing grand theft felony charges. He keeps deflecting responsibility. The police are not buying his excuses. He made absolutely no effort to locate the owner. Period. None. Zero. The suspect keeps insisting he was just recovering lost property, claiming he planned to return it later. The officer immediately calls out his story. The item was not lost on the ground. It was sitting right on the TSA checkpoint table. Surveillance cameras caught his every move on tape. He saw it, reached out, and snatched it. Without hesitating. He never checked to see if any bystanders owned it. Several travelers were standing right in that area. Nearby, he did not ask a single person, nor did he alert any nearby security staff for help. His defense makes absolutely no sense to investigators. The excuses do not match the video evidence. It is totally illogical. He apologizes. Too late now. Indeed. Watch this. Notice how the deputy begins questioning. They are confirming the victim got her property back. Great. And now, the officer sets up the arrest. The suspect is surprisingly compliant. He complies, securing his belongings. Safe. The trap is sprung. He is ordered to touch the desk. The official charges are delivered here for grand theft. Instant shock. He claims the metal hurts. Tight. The deputy adjusts the cuffs safely. Nicely done. Ready for the cruiser. He was ultimately charged with felony theft. How did the officers handle this? Let me know below and subscribe. Thanks.